What's up, everybody? Kyle here. Let's talk wax with the 2023 Bowman Chrome Top 25. Now, this product is set to release on September 13th, and these are some of my favorite prospects based pretty much on stats alone. Now, you can see I've got a Let's Talk Wax ranking system that I will be applying to a lot of the players in this video and a lot of my content as well. So if you want to grab a screenshot of that and use it for reference, it might be a bit helpful. Now, there are some important notes that I want to tell you guys about before we jump into this video. Do not buy hype in this release. I've seen it happen a lot of times. Try to stay more stats based on the guys you choose to buy and really tread lightly on DSL stats. There's going to be several guys on this top 25 that only have sample sizes in the DSL, and those have been known to change drastically throughout their career. So tread lightly on DSL only guys. And always remember that singles prices for the first 2 or 3 weeks after release are going to be inflated, and they will eventually settle about a month or two after release. So if you desperately need these cards in the next 2 weeks, you probably could save a couple of dollars if you wait about a month to buy. But without further ado, let's jump into my top 25 favorite prospects on the 2023 Bowman Chrome checklist. Now, for this video, I didn't necessarily assign a number to each prospect. I did put them into tiers though. So you can see they're tiered by Let's Talk Wax rank on the left. And I've also got some red and blue numbers. The red indicate very good stats. The blue indicate very bad stats. And if they are in red bold, it means the best on the list. And if they're in blue bold, it means the worst on the list. We're going to start this video off with Arnaudo Lantiggia, who comes in number 23 on MLB.com's 2023 International Prospect Rankings. He's a big kid standing at 6 foot 2 inches at the age of 17 with lots of room to grow physically. He showed off his power in the DSL, hitting 7 home runs in just under 120 plate appearances, but he didn't make a ton of solid contact, hitting just over 220. There is a lot of projection here, and I think he could be one of the bigger hype chases in this release. Everyone seems to love power these days. His K numbers are solid at the moment, but his contact rates will determine his power output in 2024. Now, Lantiggia is a first Chrome only, and he does not have an auto in this release. Our next tier 3 player is Dario Lavarde, who is definitely a hit over power right now, but the hit tool could play out nicely in the upper minors, especially with his K numbers. He's got above average athleticism, which could possibly play in a corner outfield spot if catching doesn't pan out. They must have some faith in Lavarde because they gave away Edgar Quiero, one of the top catching prospects in minor league baseball, to the White Sox for next to nothing earlier this year. Brooks Brannan is our last tier 3 player, and he has some of the biggest raw power for his age on this checklist. He hit 6 home runs in just over 75 plate appearances between the Complex League and Low A this year. While he hit for some average in Low A, he doesn't take many walks, and he also recorded a 30-plus K percentage in Low A. He doesn't have impactful speed, and his defense behind the plate is a bit suspect at the moment. I could see him turning into a Hunter Goodman type player with a high power ceiling and a low defensive ceiling. He'll need to brush up the K numbers though, or high A and double A could be a wild ride. Leading off our 2.5 tier is Ruben Santana, who either makes really hard contact or he's very lucky because his batting average of balls in play over the last 2 seasons has been .410. Because I really don't believe he could be that lucky in 2 seasons in a row, I'll lean towards hard contact. He's got a bit of thump for his age, hitting 4 home runs and 12 doubles in just over 200 Complex League plate appearances. He also gets the ball in the air and makes enough contact to convert raw power to in-game power. Santana might be a guy who flies way under the radar on this release, but I could be wrong. We'll have to wait and see what the comps say on release day. Our next 2.5 tier player is Sebastian Walcott, the number 8 ranked international prospect in the 2023 class. He's only 17, but he stands at a towering 6 foot 4. His numbers are all over the place with different sample sizes across 3 levels, making it difficult to project how he would do with some stability. His size could be a curse or a blessing depending on how quickly he can get his long levers to work to the ball. He takes a fair share of walks and actually walked more than he struck out in 2 levels this season. He's got above average athleticism and could stick at shortstop long term. He kind of reminds me of an infield version of Kevin Alcantara. Now, if you guys are into Bowman Chrome baseball cards and you want to help support the channel, I've got a Patreon page and I'll put a link to it in the video description. Over there, you can find a top 100 Bowman Chrome autos list, a top 100 Bowman Chrome autos under $50 list, autograph checklist breakdowns for every release since 2019, a private Discord server, and early access to all of my YouTube content. I've also got my complete PDF file breakdown of every player on this autograph checklist and a team break guide with all 30 teams ranked to help you guys stay organized in picking which teams you'd like to break. So if you guys are interested in helping support the channel and you want to unlock some exclusive content, head over to my Patreon page. I'll put a link to it in the video description. Continuing in the tier 2.5 range on Let's Talk Wax rank is Welbin Francisca. Francisca is the number 28 ranked prospect in the 2023 international class per MLB.com. He had a great showing in the DSL with solid numbers across the board. I'm not sure how much power he will tap into as his physical projection isn't very high at 5'8". He could develop a more contact-oriented bat with some in-game speed as a second threat. Luis Lara is one of many 2023 Bowman Chrome players who have a first Chrome Auto in 2023 Bowman and a first Chrome Auto in 2023 Chrome. You're going to see several guys on this list like that, including Jacob Melton above. Now, I did put an asterisk by all these players, but I forgot to put it by Luis Lara. So if you see the asterisk beside a player's number, it will indicate that they have a first Chrome card in a different release. So Luis Lara is more of a contact-oriented player right now, hit 286 in the 2023 minor league season, but had a sub 100 ISO. He's got immaculate K numbers between low A and high A. He currently plays premium defense in center field, and he stole 30 bases this year in 2023. So a big look at a hit speed guy right here who plays premium defense, Luis Lara, Milwaukee Brewers, 18.8 years old. Brando Maia was the number 9 ranked international prospect in the 2023 class who signed with the Yankees for $4.35 million last year. Maia is very athletic and has plus in-game speed, which he uses in center field and on the bases. The hit tool looks to be solid at the moment, and his K numbers lead me to believe that his approach is way ahead of his physical development at the moment. Being a top 10 guy in the 2023 international class and playing for the Yankees, I wouldn't expect Maia to be a very cheap auto on release. Our next 2.5 rank is Jesus Starlin Caba. And if you search Jesus Caba, you're not going to find much because he goes by Starlin on almost every search engine that I could find. He's the number 13 ranked prospect on MLB.com's 2023 international class. He hit for some average and showed off some above average in-game speed with 16 stolen bases. Offensively, he looks to have an advanced approach, sporting the lowest K percentage and K to walk ratio on this top 25 list. Hopefully he can brush up on his ground ball to fly ball rate because his K numbers should allow him to tap into some more raw power in game. He's only 5'10" at the moment, so the physical projection isn't quite there right now. Next we have Jacob Melton, whose first Chrome cards can be found in 2022 Bowman Draft, but he does have a first auto in this release. He's the number 1 prospect in the Houston Astros organization, one of the older guys on this list at 23.0, but he does possess a unique speed power threat. He's got 21 home runs and 44 stolen bases between high A and double A this year. Now most of those did occur in high A, but regardless, those are some impressive numbers. Now, he hasn't hit for a ton of average this year at 240, but he does have a 217 ISO, and his career numbers and his 2023 season numbers are very linear. Now, he was a huge sleeper as a first Chrome only in 2022 draft, but his numbers have improved significantly since then, and I think he could be a pretty solid chase in this release. Next, we have another Houston Astros outfielder, Kennedy Corona, who has a first Chrome in 2023 Bowman and a first auto in this release. Now, I'm not sure which guys will actually have the first logo on their autos of these starred or asterisk players. We'll have to wait till release date to see that as well. I know some do have the first emblem and some don't, but it doesn't usually tend to affect prices because most hobbyists in the community know that this is actually their quote-unquote first auto. Houston Astros, as I said, outfielder 23.5. He stopped playing center field when Jacob Melton got called up. He spent the whole season in Double A, had a 214 ISO, another speed power player here with 22 home runs and 31 stolen bases, but unlike Melton, Kennedy Corona did this in Double A alone. So pretty solid numbers. He increased his ISO from his career at 189, and he's got a pretty similar batting average across his career and 2023. Now Corona, like I said, could be a big speed power threat at 22 home runs and 31 stolen bases. And I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot of guys out there excited to see him on this checklist with an auto. Breaking into our two-tier rank is Justin Henry Malloy, Detroit Tigers. He's 23.6, the oldest player on this list, and he kind of goes back and forth between third base and outfield. Spent the whole year at AAA. He looks like a very solid floor bat. I'm not sure if he's going to have superstar potential at the next level. He did hit 23 home runs this season, the most on this list. A 289 batting average and a 212 ISO, and his ISO has increased by about 20 points, and his average has stayed right around his career at 289. So he does hit a very prolific bat in the minor leagues. I'm not sure how prolific it will be at the major league level. Like I said, he looks like a solid floor guy, but he definitely can hit, and he does have a first in 2023 Bowman and a first chrome auto in this release. Alfredo Dunno is our next number 2 tier Let's Talk ranked prospect. He's the number 4 ranked international prospect in the 2023 class. While his primary position is catcher, he had some arm issues that limited him to DH in the DSL this year. In his professional debut, he showed the ability to hit for both average and power while walking nearly as much as he struck out. There is some physical projection here as well, as he already stands at 6 foot 3 inches prior to his 18th birthday, with Fangraphs ranking his raw power at 60 out of 70. Now, as I mentioned in the beginning of this video, DSL stats can often go south quickly when a prospect comes stateside, but his K numbers make me optimistic about his future production. Leading off our 1.5 rank is Kiner Delgado, and I'm not sure how this kid isn't organizationally ranked by either MLB.com or Fangraphs, so he must be flying way under the radar. He's a producer across 2 levels, hitting for average, power, and stealing bases. Better yet are 2 consecutive seasons taking more walks than strikeouts. He's also hit 28 doubles between 2022 and 2023. Stat-wise, this kid looks pretty special. He's about Corbin Carroll's size, and hopefully he plays like him in the upper minors. He's a bit older than his level, so hopefully he can make a jump to high A by the end of 2024. One guy who I'm sure will be a very hyped up player in this release is Yoendry Vargas. Now, he does have the stats to back it up. He's the number 3 ranked prospect in the 2023 international class. He put together one of the most dominant performances on this checklist. His stats are all plus across the board, hitting for average, power, stealing bases, K numbers, all of it. We all got burnt a bit last year on Yasser Mercedes' dominating DSL performance, so hopefully Vargas can put it together in 2024. He's also 6 foot 4 inches, one of the most projectable bodies on the checklist. Now, before we get into our last 5 players, I would like to go over some honorable mentions in the 2023 Bowman Chrome Autograph checklist. Here are some Let's Talk Wax Rank Tier 3 guys that just didn't quite make the list. Felman Celestine is one of the top-ranked international prospects in his class, but he has yet to record a professional plate appearance. Braylor Guerrero from the Tampa Bay Rays is on this list as well. Joel Ortega with the Minnesota Twins. Luis Torres, Los Angeles Angels. Marco Vargas with the Miami Marlins. Now, he doesn't currently play for the Marlins, but that's the team he's going to have on his card. And Wilfredo Antunez with the Cleveland Guardians. Now, I do have complete breakdowns for all these honorable mention players over on Patreon on the 2023 Bowman Chrome Autograph Checklist Breakdown. As I mentioned before, I'll put a link to that in the video description if you guys want to head over there and check that out. And I've even gone as far as putting some 3.5s on this list. These are all the 3.5 tier players. Angel Cepeda with the Chicago Cubs, Carlos De La Cruz, Philadelphia Phillies, Christopher Torrin, Arizona Diamondbacks, Jacob Reimer, New York Mets, Junior Marin, Philadelphia Phillies, Luis Ganipa, Atlanta Braves, Mike Collado, Cleveland Guardians, Ronald Hernandez, New York Mets, and Yossi Galan, Texas Rangers. And I'm full of surprises on this video, as I've actually logged all of the pitchers in this release. So if you guys do happen to pull a pitcher auto, which I hope you don't, here are the guys that you want to pull. Gordon Graceffo for sure is probably one of the top pitchers in this release, along with Wickelman Gonzalez with the Boston Red Sox. And you can see I applied a Let's Talk Wax rank to every pitcher on this list. And I'm not going to go through all of them in detail, so if you want to grab a screenshot, that could be helpful when you're ripping this release. A few more 1.5s led off by Rainer Arias, the number 15 ranked prospect in the 2023 international class. He's posted one of the highest WRC pluses I've ever seen in the DSL at 230. The only red flag here is the fact that his MVP caliber performance is a small sample size. He's already 6 foot 2 inches at age 17, and from what I've read, he's got a plus makeup and work ethic. His K numbers are also way beyond his age. Due in part to the ceiling of his bat, athleticism, and makeup, I'm pretty excited about this guy, and I'm going to be keeping a close eye on him in 2024. I'm also setting a 1.5 as a maximum grade for a DSL only player going forward with all of my release videos. Davison de los Santos is next, who has a first chrome in 2023 Bowman and an auto in this release. He was one of the youngest players in AA this year and spent the entire season in AA. The Diamondbacks have challenged him with aggressive assignments since being signed. He hit .254 with a 172 ISO, a 25.6 K rate, and he did show some aggressiveness with a 4.83 K to walk ratio. Now, he did hit 18 home runs at the age of 19 and going into his 20th birthday in AA, and that's what puts him at the top of this list. He's going to have to cut down on his aggressive approach, though, if he wants to tap into more power at the big league level. Our final 1.5 rankie is Zach Geloff with the Oakland A's. 22.9, played second base at the major league level this year. He does have a first chrome in 2023 Bowman and an auto in this release. Now, he's the only guy who I put major league stats on this breakdown. He's hitting .269 at the big league level with a .253 ISO. He's got 10 home runs across 204 MLB plate appearances and 10 stolen bases. Some of the better offensive numbers put up by a rookie in 2023. Now, he does have a first chrome auto in this release, and I expect big things for Zach Geloff. He wasn't really a chase out of 23 Bowman, but he could be a big chase in this one. Our only tier 1 rankie in this checklist is Samuel Basallo, who probably has the highest power ceiling of any player on this list, standing at 6'4" and already cranking 18 home runs as a fresh 19-year-old between low A and high A. He also had his best career offensive showing in high A, where he hit .310 with a .298 ISO while taking more walks than strikeouts. The only issue with him is his defensive ceiling. From what I've read, he's a bit fringy behind the plate. He's been splitting time between catcher and first base, but I don't really think it will matter because the bat will drive the car. Could he be the next Yordan Alvarez? We'll have to wait and see what he does in the future of his career. There are no surprises here. The only elite rankie on this checklist, Ethan Salas, who was the #1 international prospect in the 2023 class and will be the big chase in this release. I'm going to guess his base autos sell for around $500 on release week, so tell me if you think they're going to be over or under that price on the first sale in the comments. Salas is beyond his years behind the plate defensively and made waves with his bat in low A at just 16 years old to begin the season. He's struggled offensively against high A and AA arms, but he's also the youngest player in AA right now. I'm not sure what the rush is here with Salas because his bat doesn't look quite ready for AA. Due to the aggressive assignment, it's hard to tell how special the bat is. We already know the defensive upside is elite. I'm going to give him the elite rank because I can't remember the last time I saw a 17.3-year-old in AA, regardless of performance. That's going to wrap up this video. If you guys want to help support the channel, again, check out my Patreon page in the video description. You can check out my team break guide for 2023 Chrome and my complete 2023 Bowman Chrome autograph checklist breakdown over there, along with some other exclusive content. A huge shout out to all of my level 3 sponsors over on Patreon. Be sure to let me know who you guys are chasing in this release, and if you guys enjoy these videos, don't forget to subscribe. Good luck to everyone out there ripping, and y'all have a fantastic day.